Here we are. Hello. Welcome, everybody. It has been, it's been a few days now. Kickstarter has been wildly successful, and a lot more attention has been put on how to play the game than we were initially prepared for. So we thought we would record this video for everyone so that they could get, a better feel of how a general gameplay experience of Rove goes. Hello, my name is Charles. I am the writer, and I'm accompanied by one lead developer, Ty Van Grossi.
Hey, I'm Ty.
And one Wes Todd, our resident flamingo on staff.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody.
And what you're looking at in front of you is the second encounter in one of your first choice consequence events in Rove. So this is very early on in the game, so if you're worried about spoilers, this isn't much of a spoiler. The fact that we're in a cave and we have a buddy with us is perhaps the only real note about the spoiler. Unfortunately for time, I can't. We do have all this nice text here that I wrote. You can pause and look at that perhaps, but otherwise we are a little pressed for time, so I'd rather not stop here and put on my funny narrator voice and go through all the voices here. For context, though, we have followed a large Kebraska army that marched over the horizon and ended up at a mountain, and we have decided to, check in on them and make sure nothing untoward is happening, and they've requested our help getting through the mountain that is full of gribbly, grobbly creatures such as our Oniski, our Zenix, and our Wrathbone. So in Rove, the general play order is first you have your rovers and then your adversaries go. Within the rover phase, you have as many people, between 2 and 4, go in whatever order they choose, right? So Ty will look at his state of the board, I'll look at mine, Wes will look at his, and we'll kind of negotiate to see, actually, if I go first, I can set you up for this, or if you go first, you could set me up for that kind of thing. And when you have an ally, that is passed between each person. So we're just going to go, left, right here. So Ty is the first person to control our ally character. As Ty takes his turn, he'll also take a turn for the ally character that's with us in this encounter.
Well, and let's just mention that real quick, which is, I think, something cool that we do in some of our quest chains. You can meet certain denizens within Chorus, and you get an ally card for that person. And they get a standee, and so they are on the map with you, helping you complete the quest chain. And allies are kind of neat. They activate with the person who controls their card. The card switches control from round to round so that everyone gets a chance to use the ally. They have their own ether affinity, their own stats, and most of the time allies will have 2 abilities. And what that means is during when you activate them, you get to use one of the 2 abilities. That's why we have this little or statement here. An ability can be a collection of multiple actions. For allies, it's usually a move and an attack.
Speaking of moving and attacking, are you guys ready to begin our turn?
Yeah, I'm good.
I am always ready.
So, a quirk of this encounter, normally all of the enemies on the board are active and going through their actions. We have back here, you'll see it on the map in the book as well, but these guys are conditionally inactive. There will be a condition earlier or later, depending on what encounter you're playing, that'll activate these guys specifically. In this case, it's just when we are passing these 2 guys in the middle here. Once we've passed these mushrooms, these guys will wake up and become active. So for the early part of this encounter, we will not be controlling these 3 characters back here. So the Sophist is a character that, and the Doom Dancer as well. Both of us, these are the slightly more complicated characters. They have lots of different unique effects. The Doom Dancer has a lot of things that interact with adjacent allies. The Sophist has a lot of personalized placement with its glyphs. So usually the Sophist wants to take a turn to set up first, and that's what I'll do. So I'm going to jump ahead using my Vault ability. And unfortunately, since we're in TTS, the physics aren't, so easy, so we have to pad over them just to denote that we've done them. But in, the real game, you'll have a fun little slidey that you can do to denote what ability you've used. And then I will create my Luminescent Hyperbola, and the way that works is, as I move the Hyperbola, if an enemy is on top of it, I will do additional damage when I attack. And then, after having created it, and you can track its effect here on this card, After I've created it, I will go ahead and begin. Let's see. I want to charge up with additional ether so I can do my bitter realization later on. So we're going to use Moment's Respite. And so one of my glyphs will perform a status drop, an ether field drop. In this case, I am dropping an emboldening aura, probably underneath myself, so that way when I do attack, it'll be larger later. In this case, we have our own personal emboldening auras that I'll use. Not every character has both the emboldening aura and the lingering miasma. In this case, I only have auras, the True Scale only has miasmas, and the Dune Dancer has both. And then after that, I will roll for an ether gain. So we'll grab one of the ether die, and then I'll roll it. Don't need two. And then these are the 2 ether I have available to my character, and that ends my turn. After that, we flip that card. And on the backside, we now have the Rave Dazzling Strike available.
Ty, would you like to go so we can get all of the smart characters out of the way and I can do my dumb character last?
Yeah,
I think
sure.
the only dumb character here is the one piloting. I think I think you'll find the True
man.
Scale is 2 very clever individuals working together.
True. It's true.
Well, so something I'm looking at. I'm looking ahead, and I'm looking at the adversaries. And when you first start an encounter, the adversaries always perform their first ability. And I see that the Oneski has a heal as its first ability. So as much as I really want to just start bopping that Oneski, if we can't kill him this round, he's just going to heal himself or someone close to him. So I'm curious, True Scale, do you think you're going to be able to get in there and blap that Oneski hard? Or is this more of a setup turn for you?
Oh, I always do damage. I never sit around and just set stuff up and throw little glyphs out on the floor and mess around with some KFC chicken. I'm always out there doing the hard work.
Big man on campus.
I love it. So we're going to go for that guy then. We're going to go for the Oneski and try to kill it this round.
Sure.
Okay. So I will move here with Stride. I don't have any earth to drain, but that's okay. I don't think I need it. And then I'm going to use Erosion. I'm pretty sure I moved close enough. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I did. Which is a 2 damage attack at range. I got Morph. Yeah, it's +0 for my guy, so that's fine. So he's down to 4. Now, let's see, I needed to... Yeah. Well, I wanted to... I did this out of order, but that's fine. I'm going to use Granite Phalanx. Yeah, I'm going to use Granite Phalanx, which allows me to give 1 defense token to myself and an ally within range 1.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, there we go. So at least we'll be a little tanky. I do get an ether die for that. All right. And now I have dual assault. Ooh, that could be fun with me and the True Scale. Let's see. What do I want Kilo and Saris to do? Ooh, they can help. The range is a little short. 2 and 2.
And so just like your own cards, your ally cards also will flip under certain conditions. In this case, Kilo and Saris have a very easy condition where just every time they take a turn, so in this case after time makes them perform whatever, the card will flip over as it passes on to the next person at the table.
So I'm going to have him just perform his bottom ability where he jumps. So that way he can get closer and next round get stuck in.
Making our way downtown.
Yep. So yeah, that'll be my turn. Am I close enough? Yeah. If the True Scale goes there or there, I'm close enough. Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
All right. So my leveled bar is me doing 2 points of damage to feel like I've at least done something. Is that what we're saying?
Oh, I mean, that's what you're saying.
All right, I like it. So I'm going to move 4 with Skitter. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a bruising action by doing Intrusive Thoughts. Oh, no. I think actually I'll do my just basic attack first. So I'll do a strike. which is a 2-point damage attack to something that I'm adjacent to. And that will do with air. Hey, that does 2 points of damage just right out of the gate. Bang, bang. So I've been an effective team member. The next thing that I'm going to do is...
Real quick, Drew Scale. I'm going to use my rallying cry and put a crux field underneath it, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Fantastic.
So if you do attack again, it'll be stronger this time.
It's going to be extremely strong because I plan on, after I have attacked, I'm now going to do a push to an enemy 1 to 2 spaces away with one of my reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go ahead and push this guy back up against that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Impact damage.
One more.
Yeah, to describe what West is doing, this is an ether node. There's a few rules to this guy, but right now the rule that is important is that it counts as an obstacle. Normally units without flying can't enter into obstacles. So because West pushed a unit without flying into an obstacle, it can't go any further and it suffers impact damage.
So it takes a nice little point of damage, which is a nice, what they refer to as suffer damage. So you don't have to roll for that, which is very nice. And I got an ether from doing so that flips it over, which leaves me to the opportunity here to be able to do an actual card-based attack here on the bottom. So I'm going to do my Strange Chatter, which allows me to do a ranged attack, something that is within 2 or 3 spaces away. I can do 3 points of damage, but because one of the 2 dice that I'm using is a morph dice, I get an additional bonus of 1. Plus, I'm standing on top of the ether field from the Dune Dancer, which gains me a benefit of...
+1.
+1. Beautiful. And then I get a nice something else happening underneath me, which will be very nice. So that'll be a total attack of 4, 5. 5 attack, hopefully, on this Xenix, which would be super cool.
Note that the Xenix does have an inherent defense, so if he wants to do damage, he'll have to try and exceed the value.
Well, I definitely exceeded the value, so I did a total damage of 5, but one of it has to go away, so it'll be a total damage of 4.
So close!
So close.
Okay, so because you attacked from the crux field, it goes away. But this one's pretty neat. Not only do you get +1 to your attack, but the crux field transforms into blooming growth. So you ended your turn in it. That means you do heal 1. You're at max health, so not a big deal right now. But you do heal while you're inside of blooming growth.
And so with rallies and raves, every rallying rave will flip over on its own, but occasionally a rallying rave will also call for you to flip a different card. This is due to the dual, the twin nature of the true scale, with both the Keb and the Roska being active combatants.
So I'll be flipping over this card, and then I have to flip over a different card. Which one do I want to flip over? I will flip over this one. So now I have Knock Senseless available to me. And
for the vast majority of the True Scales card, one side represents a Keb and one side represents a Roska. And then you have the fun card, Coordinated Assault, which constants both.
All right, I think that's
that
everybody,
will be my
right?
turn.
Yes, that is everybody. So now it is time for the adversaries to resolve their phase.
All right, well, we've got the Oneski up first. The enemies activate in the order that they're printed, and Oneski's on top of the page, so they go first. And they're performing Frenzy Spores. They want to heal. So let's see here. This Oneski wants to heal. They go in standing order. They don't move, I don't think. Nope, they don't.
Nope,
so those guys are just going to stay in their mushrooms up there. That's fine.
Nice and
with
cozy.
me. They want to heal anyone within range 3 that's damaged, but none of their allies that are within range 3 are damaged. So they don't do anything up there. This Oneski down here is... there's some damaged. He's damaged. There's an ally damaged. But there's also a neat little effect. Frenzy Spores. If the Oneski is within range 1 of a mushroom space, that heal action gains +1 heal. And he is relaxing in a mushroom. So it's going to be a heal 3. And him and the Xenix are equally damaged. So he's going to favor the one that's closest, which is himself.
We do have a slight quirk. I know there are going to be some people who are looking at the Vide and like, oh, but this guy's within 3. Note that there is a big old wall in the way, so this Oniski technically cannot see the Zinix that is also damaged.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Line of sight is drawn from the middle of a hex to another hex. And so we can tell that they can't see each other. Alright, so that's the Oniski's activation. The Zinix are moving forward and chomping down with their iron jaws.
There's one more thing to note about the Ether node here.
Oh yeah. Let's see, I think it's at the end of their turn.
Yep.
Units, yeah, at the end of their turn. So, Ether nodes, this was what I was saying about Ether nodes having additional rules. In this encounter, we have Earth Ether nodes. They actually operate a lot like blooming growths. So when a unit ends their turn adjacent to an Ether node, usually something happens. And for the blooming growth, that is they heal one. So the Oniski heals again.
And so we're back to the point Ty made, where if we couldn't kill the Oniski right away, was it worth attacking at all? Hard to say.
Well, yeah, they're very resilient the first round, especially the first round. It is what it is. I think we'll be okay. But what's also neat is we can take that die and turn off the node. We can get next to it and heal ourselves, or we can take the die off the node, turning it off so that the enemies can't heal. So we got options. But yeah, back to the Zinix. They're moving forward and chomping down with their iron jaws. And let's see here. And just to make sure everyone understands, we know we got enemies back here, but just remember there's a special rule where they're not active yet. So this guy's number 4, 3, 2. So this guy has a low standing number. It's a single target attack that the Zinix is performing. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm the closest, so he wants to come and bite me. But I have 1 defense, so I think it'll be okay.
And additionally, not only do you have 1 defense, but the Sophist has a trick up its sleeve.
The enemies still roll for damage, so let's just get that die going.
And then I'll activate my react on the Sophist. Before you are fully attacked, you are free to just hop away.
It actually gets me closer to the enemy, so yeah. Okay, so now I'm no longer a legal target, and his attack whips, which is pretty cool. So this guy, though, this Zinix, wants to attack the True Scale. He's going to go there.
I'm out of tricks.
That's always the case.
Not only am I out of tricks, but he really walloped you.
You're fired, Ty. You can't roll dice anymore.
He gets a +1, so now it's an attack 4.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Since I've already used my reaction, that's fine. I'll take it. Okay. I'm a big boy.
And just to be clear why the Zinix went here, both of these are valid hexes. The Zinix can go to either of them. So it becomes player choice. Yeah, there's this Ether node here that heals, but that's not in the enemy AI. They're not aware of these things. So we can choose for the Zinix to go there or there. Both are valid choices. So I'm going to make the one that's more favorable to us. Okay. This Zinix marches forward and does the same thing. Hopefully I roll worse.
A little bit.
He rolled okay. So he chomps you for 3.
At least you only trapped it for the average damage.
Yeah, right?
True Scale doing his job as our frontliner.
And then we've got a Wrathbone in the back. He is going to go forward trying to bite us as well. All right, and that is the Adversary Phase.
And so we clean up our things. All your reacts come back as part of the rover phase. You would slide your abilities back to their unused position, but again, pardon our dust with a tabletop simulator module. It's a little fussy, so no fun physics in that way. And then any defenses or whatever you had would then be cleared at the start of each rover's turn when they take it.
All right. Does anybody have anything exciting that they want to do first out of the gate, like heal the True Scale?
Heal the True Scale.
Yes, I do have options to heal you.
Uh-huh.
How many of those options do I want to take?
I'm hearing the but coming very shortly.
Well, because I can play a Rave. So what I think I will do at a bare minimum is I'm going to use my Soothing Salve. It allows me to perform a heal 3 action. So I'll go first. I guess that's what I'm saying. I'll go first.
Sounds good.
And it allows me to heal you for 3.
All right. I feel better.
So that item is consumed. And then I can slow these guys down. To be clear, you flip it over when you use it. And when you win the encounter, it goes back to the item shop.
Mm-hmm.
So in the off chance that you may not win, you just flip the consumable item back to its face, and you get to keep it. So you don't resolve that till the encounter's won. My gosh, my desire to grab that ether die is actually really strong. Do I have a way to grab it?
I could help you grab it if you like.
Yeah? How can you do that?
I can inspire you to move forward, and then with your movement, you'll be adjacent to the ether node, which you can use your movement back on your turn to actually claim it.
Yeah, that's true, but I've already started my turn, so I'm going to have to live with my decisions. I think what I'm going to do, at the very least, is I'm going to erode that Xenix. He's still at 1 health. He's got 1 defense, which means if I roll poorly, I won't
If you really want to ensure it, you could do a dim here.
I'm taking the risk.
Oh. There you go.
I think it paid off. No, it didn't.
No,
that was a negative.
Yeah, that was me being smug about my suggestion.
Yeah. All right. You were right. I was wrong. Well, then I guess I'm gonna Ice Blast. Yeah, I should have let you go first. That's the classic mistake. I always go first. I always get so excited I want to go now. I should have let you go first. But it is what it is. I want to get as much damage out on the board. I don't want to dump it into one target. So I'm going to Ice Blast. I'm going to spend these 3 ether die. I'm spending water, so I get the augmented effect of Ice Spikes. It's a Tri-Hex. So I am going to place it on this guy and this guy. Alrighty. That's +0, so this Xenix is out of here.
That's enough.
And then for the other guy, it's another -1. Blah, my luck. Okay. So no damage to the other Xenix. That's fine. Lots of ice, though, so you're going to be a little slow in that way. This card flips. I also flip a Bruiser card. Let's see. This guy's a Bruiser card.
Oh, you've flipped everything back to...
Yeah, I'm going full mage. You know what? I'm flipping that guy back over.
Okay.
So this die now goes to my infusion pool. And I have one more ability. Let's see. He still doesn't have any ether die. I can take some of the heat off of the true scale. So I think I will move this way to take some of the heat and to just get ready to take that ether die off of the node next round. And that's my turn.
And so we didn't go over it specifically when West took his turn, but what the exchange there was when you perform a rave, or really in general spend ether in any fashion, the ether is going from your character's live pool to their infusion pool, and the infusion pool is what then fuels the resource cost for your items. And you can infuse as much ether as your character can carry. So the Doom Dancer's current maximum infusion, in fact, I believe all of our characters at this state, yes, all of us have a maximum ether and infusion pool of 3.
All right. Did you want to go, Sophist, or do you want me to go?
I would like to go, so I can at least
go for it.
Get everybody in better shape. So you're staying on top of Blooming Growth, so honestly, I'd rather keep you there.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do... Doom Dancer, how hungry are you for that ether? Because we can still let you get it now, if you'd like.
I mean, I spent all my ether. I'll take it.
Okay. So I'm going to use my Inspire. bit of a misprint here. It should be on the right side. But Inspire allows me to inspire an ally to move up to 3. I can also use it on a glyph if I wanted to, but in this case, I'm being gracious. So I'm going to give the Doom Dancer a set of 3 movements.
So I'll move 1 into this hex adjacent to the node. I'm going to spend 1 movement point to grab the die, and then I'm going to spend 1 to move back.
And so when you are adjacent to an ether node, if you have an additional movement, you can use it to siphon the ether from the node. That will deactivate its field effects and give you the ether personally.
Mm-hmm. And now, because that node doesn't have an ether die, it becomes a normal space. If I wanted to, I could have stood here. I could have stood inside of the hex, because it's just, we took it.
From here, I'll go ahead and do some triage on the true scale, since he asked nicely before. So, near one of my glyphs, in this case, just for funsies, let's say my glyph does it. My glyph is going to perform a heal 2 on the true scale. And then I get a specific ether. I get a crux ether.
Ooh, I'm feeling very, very warm and loved right now.
For my next trick, I will create a second butterfly. And that is my conjuration limit. So now if I were to attempt to conjure any more Hyperbola, I would have to remove an existing one, air quote, and then replace it. So I can only have 2 on the field at one time. And now I'm all jazzed and set up for, what my next turn's going to be. It's going to be super impressive, believe me. However, before that, I have Ceres on my table this time, so I'm going to get Ceres in there to do some action. In this case, we have either a long movement with a piercing stab or a nice thrusting attack. In this case, I don't see a good position for that thrust. So I'm just going to have her do the melee pierce. So I'm going to move her up here. A little risky, because we do need to ensure that Kilo and Ceres make it to the end of this encounter. But I think we'll be able to manage. And then I'm going to do a 2 damage attack to the Oniski. Alright, 2 damage. And then this flips, and we'll pass it over to West, who will then use it on his next turn after this phase.
Alright, so it's 3 damage to kill that thing. I was working on this other turn that was going to be really exciting, but I feel like maybe it is better for me to kill the Oneski, but nah, we're gonna do it this way. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the Knock Senseless as my card action, which will allow me to do a 1 damage attack to anything that's adjacent to me, but I also get to put down a Leaping Flames underneath them, and I get an Ether from doing so, which will be super exciting. And my 1 damage attack is obviously going towards our good buddy, the Xenix there, and that'll be just, unfortunately, a nothing attack because it's got a shield, but it did allow me to get the Ether, and I also took this out from underneath it and put the flames down. And then you're going to think to yourself, well, that was really smart, because at least then the flames are going to allow it to do 1 damage every single turn, because the healing field and the flames are the only things that don't expire every round. As long as you're there, they just keep staying unless something else replaces that field. And then you're going to ask yourself, why on earth are you about to do the next thing that you're about to do? and that's really because that's kind of who I am. I just do weird things. I'm gonna go ahead and do a strike attack onto our good buddy the Oneski here, and let's see if I can get some good
swing
coming my way.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That actually works. That is a +1, so that is a dead Oneski. I'm extremely happy about that. And then I've got one more action to do. Now I could inspire someone to just walk away, and I believe that is probably the best plan. They're still going to get back, but I'm gonna do something more entertaining. So one of the things that Kebs do, because Raska don't have any magic in their life, they're just really good at hitting things.
And building
protecting things vicariously, and building, and apparently making lots of babies because they're literally everywhere.
Yes.
But what the Keb are there for is because they provide that one little magic spark, and they can do psychic controls and force people to do things against their will. So within 3, I can make somebody move 1 space, so I'm going to push this Wrathbone back. Not because it's really going to do anything long term, because he's just going to run up here and be in the middle of everybody and cause all kinds of frustration, which actually means what I should do is this. Because that would be better to save the people. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to save the people.
That is interesting. That's an interesting play. It'll be. I'm really curious with the adversary's role.
Yep. And the reason I'm choosing this is, number 1, the Wrathbone is either going to run this way or the Wrathbone's going to run this way. It can't run into the middle of us and hurt all of us again. And the Wrathbone, in theory, has an attack that could have hurt all of us, which is bad. And it also, at the end of our turns, if we have to be next to it, it does 1 point of damage to us as well, which is a pretty negative thing. And then the Xenix, in theory, is going to do a ranged attack. So then it would hit the Sophist, and not the rest of us. So I think this is long-term probably the best plan. Thank you, Sophist, for healing me so much. And that'll be the end of my turn.
That may be the single most prophetic action I've ever seen Wes take in our time together.
I don't generally plan ahead like this, but I had a lot of opportunity.
Okay, so that's Rovers, right?
Yep.
So now it's adversaries. Because we're not playing the demo, we finally get to use this action die. So I'm going to roll this for each enemy that has a unit on the map. Yep. So let's see here. Oneski's rolled a 3. So they advance all the way. 1, 2, 3. They advance all the way to Desperate Contest. They're going to slap us and try to get back to their mushrooms. The Xenix, let me roll the die for them.
Whew, okay.
Okay, it is...
West was right. Oh. My face.
And,
oh
boy. And another 3. So that's an unfortunate turn of events because the 4th ability of the enemies is usually their strongest ability.
In this case, I think it actually worked out really nicely for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got lucky. Wow. Okay, so let's play through this.
Yeah, no, there was no luck to it.
This was planning. This was well thought out planning. Thank you very much.
So let's execute through this. So the Oneski are going to charge us and try to get us away from their mushrooms. So let's see. 1, 2, 3.
No good.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and let me check one thing. Okay, let's see. So they actually have an interesting little move afterwards. Move towards the nearest mushroom space. So this guy, he actually goes here.
Yeah, because this is the closest. Yep. Too bad there's a turtle in the way. Whoa.
And he ends his turn, so he suffers a damage. So now what's interesting is these mushrooms are equal, or no, actually this mushroom is closest. So this guy's just going to go back to this mushroom up here.
He's like, hey, I kept your seat warm for you.
Yeah, right. But this guy ended up in the fire, so I'm fine with that. Okay, so now it's the Xenix's turn, and he wants to throw a Dirt Clod at us. He actually has 1 movement, and I don't think anything is restricting him. So he's going to back up 1 and throw a Clawed at us, which is 2 damage. And let's see, who has the greatest health? This guy does. So he's going to attack True Scale and Kilo, trying to maximize damage.
I forgot I was on a Healy circle, so I'm just going to give myself 1 health before I get hurt again.
So against the True Scale, it's 1 damage.
Excellent.
And let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We are in range. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I am going to go ahead.
Roll for Kilo and Saris?
I will, but before you or an ally with the range 2 are attacked, I'm going to give Kilo and Saris 1 defense.
Well, see, I was going to do that and be cool, but fine. Okay, you can do it. You can be the hero.
And so he takes no damage. Okay. or excuse me, he gets 1 and he takes 1. So you could still defend him if you wanted to.
No, of course, I'm gonna defend Kilo and Saris. Before an ally is attacked, they gain +1. And so, this is a little quirky. I do gain an ether from that. But we are outside of my turn phase, so I am currently just sitting here with 4 ether that I can't do a whole lot with.
Mm-hmm. But if you could spin it before your turn, then you won't have to discard it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's that Zinix up there. This Zinix down here actually stays put, and I think he's going to do the same thing. Yeah, he's going to do the same thing. So he's going to attack the True Scale first. Still rolls a -1, so 1 damage to the True Scale.
Okay.
Nothing to be afraid of. A little bit to be afraid of.
3 damage to Kilo and Saris.
Making up for that 2 defense we gave him. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and now the Wrathbone. So it's 2 damage. All enemies within range 3. If the target is within range 1, the attack gains +1. Thankfully, none of us are adjacent to the Wrathbone, so it's just going to be 2 damage to the 3 of us up here. And so in order of greatest HP, it's going to be the True Scale first.
Nice.
That is yet another -1 for the True Scale, so that's 1 damage.
I've been trying to get extra damage here, so, yeah. That sucks.
It's another -1 for me. I'm going to go ahead and spend a die to my Gruff Scale Mail to give myself a defense. So that's no damage to me.
This is an even round currently, so little bonus does not take effect, sadly.
Yeah. And a Crux, so 2 more damage to Kilo and Saris.
Oh.
Alright. That is the Adversary Phase.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I got a lot of money in my wallet, burning a hole in my pocket.
Yeah, you could take your turn
Yeah,
first.
go for it.
All right. I'm gonna do something really quirky. This is that big exciting thing I was talking about. So, first I'm going to use Inspire to inspire my Hyperbola to sneak its way under the Zinix. Then I'm going to use Bitter Realization, which is now currently a 4 damage attack because I'm targeting something underneath, or something with a Hyperbola underneath. And then I'm going to remove one of my other glyphs, the other Hyperbola I placed earlier, to make that a +2. So this is now a 5 damage attack. Or a 6 damage attack, I should say.
Well, it's about time you join the fight.
You know. So as long as I roll well, this should be lethal to the Zinix. That's well enough for the Sophist. He's out of here.
Nice, good job.
And so we spent 3 ether to make that happen, so I'm going to spend these 3.
I just picture the True Scale looking over his shoulder and going, "Yeah, it's about time."
And then we flip this card, and I get to flip a different card instead. And so we're going to flip... Yep, we're going to flip the Baskin Light back over so I can heal the True Scale again at some point in the distant future. And then I'm going to just move ahead, right? I need to keep up with everybody. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at me! I forgot I had an ether field underneath me, so that would have been super duper lethal to the Zinix. And this is why in our actual product we have clear bases and not these colored ones in TTS. But that is the end of my turn.
Do you have anything special you want to do, Ty, or do you want me to go?
I'm just trying to decide how much I'm going to heal.
Okay.
And I mean, but I can also smash. So that's my problem. I'm a man of 2 desires. 2 other enemies within range 1 of the target. Because I'm kind of thinking about just ignoring the Zinix down here. We might just leave him behind. Can you kill that Oneski in front of you?
Probably.
And because let's see, you have.
I mean, if I roll well, I can.
Maybe with a bit of help from Kilo.
Yeah, you have Kilo and Saris, but if Kilo attacks, then he doesn't heal. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. Actually, going to go back.
Whoa, where are you going?
Going to go back one.
You're gonna leave me up here?
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I'm going to go back one. I'm going to attack the Oneski for 2, bringing him down to 3. And then I'm going to perform Calm Rivers, and that heals Kilo and the Kebraska 1 each.
Cool.
It gets me a die. Okay. And, yep, that's my turn. But now I'm in position to tank for Kilo against the Oneski, so...
So on the bottom of the Kilo and Saris one with the healing action, I'm seeing that it says they're going to heal 1, they can move 3, then they can heal 1 to anything within 1 or 2, and then they could pull that target closer.
Yep.
They can't pull themselves closer, basically.
No. They're already close to themselves.
Yeah. They do appreciate and love themselves, which is vitally important to the world of Chorus. All right, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to do intrusive thoughts onto our good friend, the fire lizard, our Wrathbone. And I'm going to force it to do a movement action of 2, and it's going to suffer 1. So it's going to waddle its way right over here into the trap and take 2 points of damage there, plus suffering 1 from my my mind meld action. And that also gives me another dice, which is specifically a morph dice, which that ether is really good for me. And then that bad boy flips over. Then I'm going to do my best to attack and see what I can come up here with for this one. To attack the Oneski, I have to have a +1 to be able to...
You can do that. That's almost a +1.
That's almost a +1. It's as if the dice are mocking me.
It's okay. I can finish your job for you before the Oneski goes.
Wow. Okay, and then I'm going to dim one of these morphic dice and heal myself for 2. So dimming is where you take a dice, an ether, and then you take the whatever specific power of ether it is out of it, and then you still have it available to spend, but it now becomes a dimmed ether, so it doesn't have that potential power of the additional type of ether, but it still can be spent on any of these cards. But that allows me to heal myself for 2, which is great, and I think is probably the right action that I should be doing with my extra turn rather than pushing something away. So, because I can't reach the Wrathbone, otherwise I would schmuck that. But yeah,
you've taken the Jolly Rancher and you've sucked all the flavor out of it.
Yes, that is definitely a way to put for that one.
What about Keel and Saris? What are you gonna do with them?
Well, they looked really nice and comfortable where they were, so I was just going to leave them there. But I think probably the best action would be for them to run away. So they're going to do 1, 2, and 3 over to here, and then they're going to heal themselves for the 1 health. And then they're going to hug themselves, because that's what you do to pull yourself closer to yourself, is to hug yourself.
Yeah, love yourself before you can love others.
That's right.
All right. Okay, so that's Rover's enemy phase. So, got to roll the die again. But what's good is, if you look at the die, they have 3... it's a 6-sided die, but it's only got 3 values, 1, 2, and 3. So, that means it's impossible for them to perform the same ability again. So that's actually kind of good for us.
And if you really want to get into the weeds of it, not only is it only 1, 2, 3, it's a weighted die.
Mm-hmm. Because there's 3 sides with a 1 face, 2 sides with a 2 face, and 1 side with a 3 face.
So you do have a reasonable, guess as to what any given enemy is going to be doing next on their turn.
And this isn't the worst result, honestly. Okay, so the Neski is healing again.
Before it can heal, though, I'm going to confound it. So, an enemy within, reach one of my glyphs, the one that's on the ether node, can perform a push 2 to anything adjacent or further. So I'm going to push the Iniski 1, 2 into the rocks. And since it's impacting, it suffers a damage, which then takes it out of the equation. And I gain an air ether for that.
And this Oneski up here, once again, can't see anything because he's relaxing in his mushroom, and West pushed the Wrathbone into a trap. So that ended up working out pretty well. The Zenix down here wants to chomp on somebody, so it's going to be me. He'll move up.
West, I was supposed to be the one that's good at TTS. Who taught you these secrets?
This is a shout out to Hero. You are my hero. What an amazing thing that we can do with the tenting of the bases. Seriously, you win. Congratulations, thank you.
One of our viewers has so helpfully reminded us that TTS has alpha channels for the colors on the bases, which I hadn't thought of. So we can make them transparent like in the real product, and I don't have to look silly anymore.
Mm-hmm. So the Zenix chomped on me a little bit and put a blooming growth underneath of him, but I've got a plan for him. The Wrathbone actually is going to go a little easy on us. He's just going to rush up and chomp on somebody. Let's see here. It's going to be between you and the True Scale. The True Scale has the most hit points, so he's going to come up here and attack the True Scale for 2. Wow, the True Scale has been really lucky because it's 1.
Alright, well, I've been waiting forever to use this reaction, and I need the ether dice, so I'm going to use it. I'm sending that lovely package. I'll take the 1 damage, but I'm sending an additional 1 damage right back at him, so he takes an additional point of damage as well. Plus, he's standing on fire, so... which is gorgeous.
Okay. You are also standing on fire because that was a fiery bite. And that's the Adversary Phase. It's our go again. So our abilities refresh, our reactions refresh. Okay. Well, now I'm feeling a little bit behind and I want to start running up there.
Yeah, but don't you have a foolproof plan for that Zenix?
A foolproof plan? I don't know that it's foolproof, but I'm going to basically waste his turns. I'm going to put some ice spikes under him, and that pretty much locks him down for the rest of the game, for the most part. Actually...
Although, speaking of running ahead, I would like to, bring up the point that almost every encounter in Rove does have a time limit. These are meant to be, a little shorter and sweeter. So we are currently on round 4 of our 8-round limit for this encounter, so we do want to get a little bit of a hustle.
I'm really thinking about that, and I kind of want Kilo to start pulling me forward.
Yeah.
But I can also not attack the Zenix and just attack the Wrathbone as we run by. So,
would you like me to get you in position beforehand? Because I can do that. I'm a very inspiring little Zusik. I have a lot of cool things to talk about at my TED Talk.
Well, I'm not going to kill the guy. I don't think. I'd have to roll really well. So yeah, why don't you go first, set me up, and I might be able to clean up the Wrathbone, or maybe I do slow down the Zenix, depending. In fact, now that I think about it, I'll go last. Because...
Does anyone have a way to give me a fire ether?
Ooh. No.
Unfortunately,
I didn't roll a fire ether. I do have the ability to trade with you.
Yeah, we'd have to do some real long trade chains where I give my ether to the Dune Dancer, who gives it to the True Scale.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I didn't take any ether generating items. So this could have been a good time to take one of those, but I didn't.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, then let me go first, because I may end up killing the Wrathbone.
Oh, okay. Big swings. Okay.
So let's see what happens here. I'm going to do Ruthless Assault. So these 3 beautiful dice are going down here, and then I get 2 separate attacks. I was hoping for an extra fire, but as is the case of me personally, I never roll fire. I only can get it through the.
It's because
through
you're
the
too
blast
cool
tip,
of a
which is-
dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining about morph. They're also incredibly good for me, but I love fire, so it is what it is. It's 2 separate attacks of 2 damage each. Let's see what kind of fun things I can do here. All right, so that first one is 2 damage, and the second one is not 2 damage. The second one is going to be 1 damage. So
I marked him off 3.
thought really good and hard about it, but it is what it is. So all of these go over here to the side, and then this bad boy flips over, and then I will have the opportunity to attack again, and this will be a +2. I mean, it will be a 2 damage attack, excuse me. Again with just the 2. Okay, good.
We're getting there.
Yep, and now I have to run, because I don't want to stand on fire all day, because that's not fun.
It depends on who you are. Maybe what your job is.
True. Very true. But whenever you're a tanky type of person, you're not supposed to stand in fire. So,
That's just what the healers tell us.
As a former healer, I can tell you, frankly, that is not the plan. 1, 2, 3, and I'll run up here to let's do 4 there. So that's fine. And that will officially end my turn.
And because you're now overcapped on your infusion, you'll have to pare it back down to your limit of 3. Which I think for you looks like a pretty easy choice.
Yeah, what we're talking about is if you look at your class board, you have a pool limit, which is what this number is telling you. And so for your ether pool, which is on the left side of your character board, or your infusion pool, which is on the right side, you can only have dice in your pools up to your ether limit. Now, each one is separate, so you can have 3 in for like the sophist for all 3 of these classes. You can have 3 in your personal pool and 3 die in your infusion pool.
And
but at the end of your turn, if you have too many die, you have to discard down.
And that's a free choice, so you can kind of tune what your pool looks like at the end of a given turn if you're overcapped.
Yeah, so you get to decide which die you discard.
All right. Dune Dancer, become inspired. I'm selling you a really great product, and it's getting you really motivated.
I mean, at that point, we literally do just leave the Xenix behind.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm gonna do a cool flip. Let's see. I kind of want to get rid of this Wrathbone before it becomes an issue, though.
There's a very real world where I kill the Wrathbone.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll leave it to you.
But you don't necessarily have to dedicate your action economy to it.
All right, great. Then I'm dedicating my action economy to leaving. I'm out of here. And then I'm going to. Let's see. Can I heal from where we're sitting? Do I want to heal from where I'm sitting? Yeah. All right. I will do mirror one of my glyphs. My glyph is within 2 range of Kilo and Ceres, so Kilo and Ceres are healed by 2, keeping them nice and healthy. And I get a Krunks. And that's it for me.
All right. So for the Dune Dancer, I have Carve, and I can drain Earth to get +1 damage. I've been festooning with Earth this game, so I am going to drain it. That brings me up to 3 base damage when I carve them, and I did that because I don't think I can fail to kill the Wrathbone now.
Oh, not with a roll like that.
Because all I can do is roll wind on the damage die, but the Wrathbone is still dead because I drained that Earth. So I think that worked out pretty well. And then I am going to skedaddle again up here. And I am going to deep freeze this Oneski. Now, there is a potential problem, because if I deep freeze the Oneski, that puts ice spikes in that hex, which means we basically can't enter that hex. really, really hard to do.
Have you ever tried to walk on a frozen mushroom? I think I sprained an ankle last time I tried.
You know what? Because of that, I got to smash. So I'm gonna crag smash, which is 4, and that way I don't place the ice spikes.
Can we take
Crux. Okay, so that's 4 damage to the Oneski. That was my Rave, my skill card, which was a Rave. And I've got to flip a spellcaster card. Kind of want to keep that heal up. I think this guy gets flipped. Okay, and then it's Kilo and Saris.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I kind of got in the way. I was actually hoping Keel and Saris would kill the guy, but I kind of got in the way. Ooh, oh well. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. That's the best Kilo and Saris can do this round. And I don't think there's any other tricks I have. Nope, that's it. So, okay, that's my turn. I think that's everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. And then
okay.
Overcap.
Yeah, so Adversary... Oh, yeah, I am Overcap. I knew about that. Dim. Okay. So it is the Adversary Phase, and we're going to roll for them. We have an active Oneski. That's important, an active one. So we're going to roll for the Oneski. Okay, he's just going to body tackle us. We have an active Xenix. So we're going to roll that. He also goes up 1. Actually, that worked out really well for us. But we have no active Wrathbones right now, so we're not going to roll for them. These guys back here are not active.
Not until we cross the mushroom threshold.
All right, so let's see. The Oneskis are just tackling us. It is going to be a little bit of a hard hit. He's going to attack me for 3. I'm going to react to the attack and heal myself for 1 in anticipation of the attack. Then I am I do have Earth. What's the round? Is it still? It's still even.
Still even, yeah.
I
mean, if you'd like, you could do a cool flip.
I'm just going to dump my die. I'm going to dump 2 ether die into my Gruff Scale Mail to give myself 2 defense, which was good because that ended up being a 4 damaging attack. But that's fine. And that's the Oneski. Okay. Well, that ended up being the only active enemy, so we're done with the Adversary Phase. It's our turn.
I could have done something cool. Let's see.
You can't grant jumps, can you?
No, I cannot.
Oh. God, why did I drain the Earth so early? I need it for stride. Okay. So once we enter the mushroom tile, the guys in the back will become active.
Mm-hmm.
There's a world where we just run to the crystals.
There is a world, yeah. Like we do not have to actually defeat these guys. Like we can just squeeze in around the giant crystal in the back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can go first and open up space for you all, because I can still make it to here.
Okay.
So,
because I can always certainly force the issue myself, but I'm more than happy to let you walk into the danker parts of the cave before me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me do that. Because I think I got a pretty interesting set of choices. So I'm going to carve this guy. I am hoping for a good roll.
I mean, aren't we all?
It was a good roll. It's 2 damage.
It's good enough.
He's out of there. And then I don't think I'm going to be in range of these guys back here, so I'm just going to move 3 and get to the other side of the mushroom. You know what? I'm just going to heal myself. I'm going to heal myself for 1, which puts a blooming growth underneath of me. and I'm going to end my turn, which heals me for 1 again, because I'm inside of Blooming Grove.
I'm so jazzed about the alpha on the bases. Like, thanks so much for our commenters for letting us know about that. I feel really dumb not knowing about that for like the past, however many months we've been using the TTS for playtesting.
It's absolutely fantastic. I love it so much. It's the little things, really. That's what makes it for us.
All right, yeah, I'm good. I'm passing.
Okay. Do you want me to push you forward first, True Scale?
That would be fantastic, because I would love to run in there and do something stupid.
Oh my gosh.
As one does. All right, you get your 3 movement to start with.
Okay.
It's not quite enough for 3 movement unless you've got a secret pair of boots I don't know about.
Well, I was right behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, 1,
but the
2...
mushrooms are difficult terrain, right?
Yep.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
3.
I wear the boots in this relationship.
That's true, you do. It's because you're so short. You need the extra height.
You're not supposed to tell him about the platform shoes. All right, I'm gonna do jump 3, 1, 2, 3, and then augment it with those same boots I was talking about to make it a 4. We're just gonna spend the earth I have here because I don't need that.
Oh, I just want to backtrack real quick because I kind of skipped over the Zenix. I was in the bottom. They rolled Hail of Stones. They're basically dropping a bunch of rocks around themselves. It doesn't come with a move component. So no one was in range of the Zenix, so I just kind of skipped over them. But that's why the guy down there didn't activate or seemingly do anything. He did technically activate, but nothing came of it.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I landed on the mushroom with my jump, which ignores the difficult terrain component, and then I used my boots to get myself 1 more space forward so I could be on this side. Hopefully we're not blocking you out, West. If we're actually blocking you out, I can stay on the mushroom.
I'm going all the way up. I'm totally fine.
Okay, all right. And then from there, let's see. I should. Ooh, you know what? There's not a whole lot of whatting here actually. I'm gonna generate the armor roll right here using my Rave. And that just flips the 1 card, and then we flip a different card. Let's do this one. Yeah, all right. Put my air ether. No, let's put the fire ether on this side. So anybody who stands on the armor roll will get a point of defense, but I think West is probably going to end up scooting past it.
Oh, I'm well past it.
Yeah. And then,
you guys brought the Draken powder, right?
Yes. Oh, what? That's a terrible question to ask. Okay, all right. I mean,
I
yes,
knew that's
but
where he was going with it.
Jeez. Okay. We have Kilo is going to do a cool little hop and a skip. 1, 2, 3. And heal the True Scale for 1.
That's a good plan.
It would pull you, but you're already adjacent, so.
Yeah, it's totally fine. All right, so I'm going to do a jump here of 3, which will be 1, 2, and 3.
I noticed
And
he
then-
purposely avoided the armor roll.
Oh, yeah, well, because I'm not going to stay there. That seems
Yeah.
lame. I can't do anything from this distance. I am built for speed and dumb attacks. So, as the moniker would apply, Leroy
Oh, Lord.
Jenkins. And then I'm going to run right into here into the center.
Nobody calls you that.
Okay. And that's then what I'm going to do is then do a wonderful walking action where am I going to do the walking action now? I think I should. Yeah, I'm going to do the walking action where I'm going to push this Zenix back into the damaging area here so that he can take 2 points of damage. And then I'm going to take 1 point of damage for being super close and a little too
Next to a spicy boy.
What if I moved here instead?
What
That's a better
if?
place for me to be.
What if?
Yeah, that's a better place for me to be because then I don't take the extra damage and I still get to do everything I wanted to do, so it's
And
fine.
you could be next to the cool, juicy, watermelon flavored Jolly Rancher. Actually, I think it's green apple,
Yeah.
but
I feel like overall that was a very intelligent, amazing turn for me. That I feel really good about.
Well, and I just want to point out the map design. I think this was a pretty cool thing we landed on. I put traps. So, like, the goal of this encounter is we all have to get to a crystal, and there's enough spaces for us. But if this was a 4-player game, there wouldn't be enough spaces without triggering a trap. So I like that you shove the Zenix back there. It gets rid of the trap, and now you could occupy that space eventually to meet the win condition for the encounter. But
I like how you called this like I really like that I did this. You said that from the perspective of like a DM who designs an encounter that is specifically for the pain of their players. But I do also appreciate it because I think it's quite entertaining, and it makes it fun for me because I can push people around. So,
look, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into each of these maps.
I'm really happy with the art. I think that came out really good. Okay, so Adversary Phase, we're going to roll the action die. We have Zenix and Wrathbone now. No Ineski on the map.
We wiped them.
So we're going to roll for the Zenix. They are going to perform Cladrid again. We're going to roll for the Wrathbone. And they're going to perform
you would.
Their Burnable Vomit.
You would.
And just to be clear, because I went through that pretty quick, the Zenix was on the Hail of Stones, and I rolled a 3. So that means the token comes back to the beginning of the track. So it started here. That's 1 advancement, 2, and then 3. So that's how we ended up on Cladrid. Okay, so the Zenix are before the Wrathbone. So let's see, where are their numbers over here? 1. Yeah, it's just 1 guy.
We have the guy way in the back over here, yeah. Which, a little harder to care about these days.
So, again, both of these are valid hexes. So we're going to bring him down here because they can't evaluate the value of a hex. So they don't know that this one would heal them. So we're just going to move him down here. Roll the die. And that is 2 honest damage to the true scale.
All right.
What's dishonest damage?
Now, after I'm attacked, I'm going to go ahead and give myself 1 shield. And now, I'm sure we probably talked about augmentation here at the bottom, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, so like if I wanted to, I could spend another die to be able to get another shield. But I want this fire for something else. So
this is something that you'll see on this is a placeholder graphic, but you can actually see that this is meant to be something he's gotten for leveling up as we've progressed through the campaign. Most cards look for what you have already spent, but some things like reacts especially allow you to invest additional ether you already have to empower them. And so that is an option he has in this case.
Mm-hmm. And having 2 passive defense is really good. But if you want the fire for something else, you want it for something else. So the Wrathbones are going to spit vomit at you. And that's what they're going to do. So let's see here. Oh, this guy down here moves 2. He'll get there when he gets there.
He does drop another Healy field. He's walking along, infusing the earth with nice, pretty flowers.
Oh, this is... Okay, so this guy attacks the true scale for 2.
Oh, wow.
My gosh.
Is that none?
Wes,
is that a fat none?
That's a big fat 0 because I've got a shield, so yeah.
You should thank me, Wes. The number of -1s I've rolled for you tonight is really high.
It is incredibly high. I agree with you because I've been trying to use my other one, which is always like, because I take the most damage, I'm like, I'll just wait till I get something good and then I can smack it back at them, but keep getting onesies, which is fine.
You do take 1. They did. The second Wrathbone did 2 damage, reduced by your 1 defense, brings it down to 1.
Okay.
All right, and that's the Adversary Phase.
All right. And then that brings us to, is it round 6 now?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, all right. We're almost there. You slackers in the back.
1, 2, 3. With the Sophist's help, So, is there any way we can all get to the crystals this round? Or we're gonna have to take an extra round, aren't we? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can. We do. Kilo and Saris are going to be dragged behind, but otherwise, the two of us can get there. If I inspire you.
I can push that
gonna...
Rathbone out of the way.
Well, I'm just highlighting that you're right. We're slacking back here, so we're going to have to plan for the next round to finish the encounter. So otherwise, all I'm going to do is move forward and smack a Rathbone, probably.
I was planning on pushing that Rathbone into the other trap, just because it made me mad.
That's valid.
Let's do it. Yeah.
If that's okay with you, I'd like to. But if you want to smack it first.
Oh, no. It won't change. This is a target-rich environment. I'll be okay.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll just run my turn real fast then, since I'm already here waiting for you guys.
I did want to take a quick second. I moved your defense token off of your class board. That's because defense tokens last until the beginning of your next turn. So.
And since he reacted his defense on himself outside of his turn came up and wiped it quicker than it usually would.
Yeah.
I was really hopeful that I'd be able to throw one more ether into my my pile. So if anyone has any way to give me one extra ether, I would be extremely grateful.
I could do that. What we can do is, instead of helping the Dune Dancer, complete the encounter, I could instead help you get a really big number on your attack.
No, I just really wanted one extra ether die.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would get you that one ether die, and you'd get a really big attack instead of us completing the encounter in a safe amount of time.
I mean, that sounds really fun.
All right, let's do it. All right, I'm moving in. Let's go. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna inspire you to move so you can rub up against the Jolly Rancher and take it for yourself.
Excellent.
That's 3 movements, so if you want to reposition somewhere for anything in particular.
Yeah, I'll reposition here, especially since I got a fire underneath me. I'd rather not be there.
And so the way that works is that is a 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And then from here, I will use Dazzling Strike. Do I want to? Yes. Yes. This is what I want from life. What if I killed the Xenix from where I'm standing? That would be neat.
Oh, don't kill the Xenix.
No? Oh, I see. Yes, he wants to.
Yeah.
No, he wants to use Traitor's Thoughts. Is what he wants to do.
That was my plan all along. I want to use Treacherous Thoughts.
Yeah,
it'll be great.
Okay. In that case, then I will let you do that, and I will attack the Rathbone instead. So with the Rathbone, I will use Dazzling Strike on the Rathbone to. Yeah, like I see somebody's screaming at their monitor. They see my dance at front. It's like, what if you just went and completed the encounter? But I'm like, no, we vouched for damage this round, so that's what we're doing. So Dazzling Strike, we spend my 2 ether over here. I can hit the Rathbone from where I'm standing. This will drop an Ice Spikes underneath him, so he'll have a difficult time getting away from here, which isn't exactly conducive to our goals, but nothing about this.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And then...
You're good, yep, keep going.
3 damage hit. 3 damage hit.
Love it.
And then I'm going to use my walking boots since I'm a little overcapped here anyway. We're just going to use the single Crux Ether to walk forward a little bit. Go here. That way I'm just a little closer. Actually, you know what? No, I can't go any closer than that anyway. Shame. Can I? Yes. So what I can do is I can then use the Air Ether to walk 2 so that I can walk past West into the corner here. There we go. And now I'm not even overcapped. Delightful. From there, I'm going to go ahead and use my Sling Knife on the Rathbone just to get a little bit more damage in there. This is a 2 damage hit. Hey, that becomes a 3 damage hit. Maybe you were right, Wes. Maybe this is the right way to do this. I can't believe I said that.
I know. It's okay. This is good times.
All right, and that's it for me.
You ready for this fun times? This is gonna be so good.
Let's see your fun times.
I'm so excited about it. All right. So I'm going to put down and use my triple Terranape Mallow.
Yeah.
Which is going to give me a water ether. And then put down a big, beautiful healing circle underneath me. So I could heal for 2, which is exciting because I'm going to need it. And then I'm going to spend these 3 to do Treacherous Thoughts, which allows me to force an enemy within 3 of me to perform an attack onto an ally. Which means I'm going to have the Terranape start whacking up on this Wrathbone here, which is just going to be really funny. So the Terranape then gets to roll... Or sorry, the Xenix, my bad. Rolls and does a straight up 5 damage attack directly onto the Wrathbone.
Spicy.
Boom, 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 boom. And then the Wrathbone is so, like, massively confused that it is going to, because of my my ability here, my Seize ability, I'm going to force the Wrathbone to walk into this trap over here and take an additional 2 points of damage. And then I'm going to thank the puppy, the Xenix, for all of its hard work by attacking it for 2. And doing 2 points of damage. Well, only 1 point because it's got a shield. But still, I feel really, really excited. And then I heal myself for 2. Boop, boop.
And don't forget Kilos and Saris.
Yes. What do I want to do with them? They're just going to run. They're going to run in. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, they could finish off the Xenix.
They can, and then they stand in the fire, and then they're going to be the target of the Wrathbone.
Yeah, you know.
Well, yeah. What's the Wrathbone potentially going to do?
That's a great question. Yeah, Combustion Flare is kind of spooky, so maybe let's not do that.
Oh, no, we're doing it. It's 100% going to happen. Right there.
Oh, no, that's the Dune Dancer.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, that means Keelan Saris a little out of range of your plan then.
1, 2, 3. Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, well. That's okay. It was probably for the best.
You mean you shouldn't put them in the fire?
Yeah, but they could. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, they're still
but
stuck.
They could go in the fire.
What if we put them in the fire?
If we'd have put them in the fire, it'd have been great.
My turn doesn't look nearly as exciting. I'm going to stride and then attack with erosion for 2 on the Wrathbone. And then I am going to... How am I short in ether? How did I screw that up? Oh, no!
Oh, the perennial question.
Yeah, I did. I didn't realize I was down in ether. I miscounted. So, Calm Rivers. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, nobody needs any healing, really.
So I'm just going to grant a Phalanx. Just shore up our bets. I'm going to give myself a defense and give Kilo and Saris a defense.
That's a great idea.
And that does give me that ether die that I need. Okay. And that's my turn. All right. Let's handle the adversaries real quick. 1 for the Xenix.
Oh.
And we do have a Xenix. Okay.
Yeah.
And 3 for the Wrathbone. Okay. All right. So the Xenix is going to throw rocks at all of us. They ignore defense while they do that.
Oh, so this one back here we left behind in the dust. He's got nothing going on, so we don't care.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, we're all up in that business.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's all of us. It's not the strongest attack in the game, so as long as they don't roll well, and I've been rolling a lot of wind for them.
Yeah, speaking of
which I rolled wind again. My gosh.
No damage for the true scale. No damage for whoever that's supposed to be. That would be you or me.
I feel like I've stacked these die. You know.
Are you cheating?
You know, someone else.
Stop cheating.
Someone else roll. Because this is not normal.
All right, so that's 3 no resolutions. We'll call it just on the 3 closest here. So True Scale, myself, and Karen Sia. So for you, let's get a little damage in there. There we go. You got a damage on you.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I've been rolling too good. I deserve this. Yeah, it's usually not like that. That's really wild that I've basically rolled wind all night for my attacks and for the enemies. But, okay.
Let's here. As you are attacked, though, you can do a cool flip closer to the rocks. Doesn't actually stop you from taking any more damage, but
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
You can move 1.
Yeah. And then this guy wants to do his sweeping strike, his tailbone sweep.
Yeah.
Let's see, how's he going to move? Something like this, I think?
Yep, that looks right.
Yeah, because that maximizes his targets.
Yep, he gets the True Scale on Kilo and Ceres.
And it's an attack 3. So against the True Scale, it's an attack 4.
There you go. That's
nice. There we go. All right, and then he's going to suffer 2 from my reaction.
Oh, you finally catch that credit.
Finally, yeah.
All right,
I've been waiting all night.
Click his standee, and then another -1. So against Kilo, it's a 3 attack that goes to 2. He has 1 defense token, which goes down to 1.
Very nice.
Okay, and that's the adversary phase. It's our turn.
I think we're looking pretty good.
Yep. And so the win condition is we have to...
Everyone has to be at least within range one of these 5 spaces back here on the
board. At the end of the round. So we do have to survive the round of enemy attacks. So getting rid of the enemies is still pretty useful.
Pshaw.
You know, I feel like I've been playing pretty direct, and I'll go first.
Oh.
Because I want to have a little bit of fun with the True Scale.
No fun allowed.
And let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go. So
okay.
I'm going to play Dual Assault, and I'm
Oh.
going to attack for 2, the Wrathbone that I'm next to.
Okay.
It is for 2, so I'm going to click his standee. And then I'm going to grant the True Scale an attack 2.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And what the True Scale can do with this attack, if they so desired, they could augment it with their strip blade, because even though it's not their turn, this is their melee attack action that is occurring right now. It is one that was given to them by the Doom Dancer.
It is very true. However, I don't feel that I need to, because I've been rolling so well, and in fact I did roll so well that I was able to murderlize him.
He's out of here. What else you got, Doom Dancer?
Okay, great. Let's see. Where's Kilo and Ceres going?
That's a great question.
Probably onto the spikes.
You know what I'm going to do? It takes 3 to get into.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll just go into the spikes, using up all of my movement points. But that's fine. I'm by the crystals, and Kilo has an easier to access space, actually. So that's my move. And then for my second action, I'm going to attack, or ability, excuse me, I'm going to attack the Wrathbone again. For another 2. So close, but not close enough. Okay, that's my 2 ability activations, my skill. I am good.
All right, Wes, do you want the honors of cleaning the mess up?
Sure.
But first, we have to move for Kilo and Ceres. It is Kilo's turn.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I thought it was you who had Kilo and Ceres. He's just going to go to here, I think.
Yep.
Is there anything else I can do? I mean, I can heal. Yeah, I'll give a pity heal to the True Scale, bringing him up to 8. The True Scale is pulled, but he's pulled into me. 2 units can't be in the same space, so the True Scale ends up being stayed put. And that's Kilo and Ceres.
Great. Then let's see what I can do here about cleaning up this mess that's been left for everyone. I'm going to do the Sweeping Cleave. and spin this beautiful die here on that. That allows me to hit 2 enemies within this beautiful fan, so I can hit both of them for potentially 2. What I'd like to do is to hit this one for the base 2, and then I'm going to use my sword on this guy, so hopefully it'll work out.
Mike's corrupted you.
That is less good. That is a -1, but it was only for 2, and I only need 1, so he did.
Oh.
Then I'm going to roll for the other. Now, don't forget, I am using my fire.
Oh,
And I got a fire.
That's a
so,
lot of fire.
Yeah, buddy, that is
He's
a
out of
4
there.
damage. He's long gone as well. Loves that.
I
Okay.
mean, that's it.
And you heal for 1. The Zeus can do something if he wants.
You know what? I
but
do actually. I do. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Vault to jump over here. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna use my boots to do a 1, so we can get this treasure. Because I'm sure somebody like out there is like, why didn't they go for any of the loot?
Yeah.
In these encounters, I believe the text is wrong here. Yeah, but it is just a currency gain, so we get a little bit of money for the rest of our campaign. And then I'm going to use Dance of Fronds to jump back. 1, 2, 3. Then use my boots again to do another forward walk.
Those boots are so good, and that's actually a really smart play. It's free money, right? Like, with a little bit of effort, we probably could have gotten the treasure chest over
yeah, for
here.
sure.
But, all right, so that's the end of the round. We meet the victory conditions for the encounter. We would read the reward text, and I want to see if it made it into this version. Yeah.
Yes,
So
this
for
did.
this encounter, the victory's pretty simple. We just get a bunch of gold. We got the crystal. We get a bit of money to hopefully buy better equipment. This is the conclusion text, but I don't think we'll spend the time reading it right now. But there is always a little bit of a story bit explaining what you achieved.
Yep.
And so okay, that worked out pretty well.
And that's a little rough and rumble, like quick demonstration of what we would consider, a air quotes real encounter within Rove, rather than the guided playthrough that people watching this may or may not have participated in throughout our campaign.
I got just a little nervous when Kilo and Saris got beat up, but we were able to recover the health. I liked West. It's fun watching you play the true scale, and I don't want to say that you didn't play optimally, but you played recklessly, and we were still able to feed into that play style, and I thought that was pretty fun. This is just the second encounter in the campaign. As long as you lean into the game mechanics, I think this encounter is pretty achievable. You'll definitely have to go for the treasure chest or use the challenges. I think we got some example challenges in this one.
They're a little off the mark, but yes.
Yeah, I see, because copy paste error.
Yep. But yes.
If you want your game, if you want heightened difficulty, if you really want to test your tactical acumen, you can always apply challenges to your encounter to increase the difficulty. And there are rewards for completing the challenges. You get extra ether dice in the next map, and I don't have the rewards ahead of me, but I know that's a big part of the challenges is getting extra ether dice, and a little bit of extra list, a little bit of extra gold to help kind of buy back some consumables you may have used, some ether dice to kind of give you a little bit of a power bump into the next encounter. So even if you choose to make the encounter harder, you do still get a little something for doing that.
And for people who may be worried about, exclusive rewards for making the game extra difficult, there's nothing exclusive for, turning on challenges, right? They're your fun. I think we at one point called them Halo Skulls for anybody who is familiar with that. They are just for bragging rights mostly.
Well, yeah, they're there so that you can kind of tune the game to the difficulty that you enjoy, but we don't want to necessarily punish you for applying challenges. So you make the encounter harder, but then the subsequent encounter can potentially be a little easier. It's really just kind of up to you and how you want to apply the challenges. So, yeah, that's a more normal game of Rove.
West. Yes, any sign-offs?
Oh yeah, I think if you think that wasn't the optimal play for True Scale, then you're just not fully in touch with who True Scale is and how True Scale wants to play. Because I feel like the hours that I have played as the brutal Kebraska have truly brought me to a place where I just know him inside and out.
Well, and to highlight that, what I think is pretty cool is the class can absolutely be played that way. Right, you can focus on the Raska side and be more in the face of the enemy, slapping them back as hard as you get, or you can lean into the Keb side and be more defensive and tanky for the team. Yeah. But even still, even if you didn't lean into the Keb as much as you could have, you still absorbed a lot of damage for us.
A lot of damage. Cool. I mean, if you want to be funny about it, so did Ty with his die rolling, but...
Yeah, also true, yeah. I don't know that I would have been quite as successful without your -1s all the time, so...
Yeah, the best defense in the game is just have me roll the die.
That's right.
So...
No, this is such a great part of it. I really enjoy... I played as a Sophist. I haven't played Dune Dancer yet, but I've definitely played as the Sophist, and getting all those different glyphs and things out is a lot of fun. Flipping back and forth, using all the different options that are in the power strokes that are available is very, very entertaining. But my simple brain and simple needs are met with my good buddy the True Scale. So
well, I've gone on record. I do enjoy the True Scale a lot. It might be my favorite base class. There's just I like the theme of the class, and I do like running up and hitting stuff. You and I are kindred animals in that way. But something that was neat about the Dune Dancers, this is the first time I've played them as a spell mage. I usually like their warrior build. You notice I didn't even bring out the chicken this time. The Dune Dancer has access to summons, and one of their summons is the Ardarok, a desert emu type creature. Chicken for other players.
His nickname is KFC.
Anyone can bring out the Ardarok. Any build, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be spell mage or warrior to bring out the Ardarok. But I just wanted to focus more on the spell mage this time. The spell mage is more of a ranged fighter with more access to support abilities. And so I just wanted to flip it up a little bit, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty fun. I liked how I was able to keep that Zenix behind and just kind of waste his game.
And explain why you say that you took them into the spell mage side, because you're kind of mentioning it as if it is a potential direct path that is already spelled out specifically. But I think talking about the card that you took for that reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so kind of like what we mentioned with the Kebraska, for each base class, if you look at their card names, they have an icon by them. As far as mechanics go, that usually comes up most often with card flipping. For example, I have a card over here that when I play Ice Blast, I have to flip one of my warrior cards. That's what that icon means. And so that's the mechanics of this icon that's by the name. But it's also kind of a flavor theming mechanic as well. And so for the Dune Dancer, they have two icons. The water droplet represents what I call the spell mage, and this toothed gear represents the warrior theme. And so as the Dune Dancer, you have close range, earth-based actions. We can see it here very clearly illustrated with Carve. It's a melee attack at range 1 that drains earth to get a bonus. But we also have Erosion, which represents that spell mage, which is a ranged attack. It can attack a target between ranges 2 and 3, and you can drain water to empower it. That theming carries over to the skill cards. So for one of my favorite examples is Crag Smash. Crag Smash is a 4 damaging attack that if you spend earth, you get a bonus. It attacks an enemy close to you. If you play Deep Freeze, which was the level up card I chose, it does a very similar thing. It attacks for 4, between ranges 2 to 4. So it's a ranged attack, but it places ice spikes instead. So you just get a different feel between these themes of the class. The warrior build likes to get up close to the enemy. The spell mage likes to keep its distance. And so in that way, even though I'm playing the Dune Dancer, I still have a lot of opportunity to kind of customize my play style. And so what I keep saying when I like the warrior build, I usually like to take the earth cards. I usually like to take the warrior cards. I like to get in close and personal. The warrior cards usually are the ones that have access to more summons, where the spell mage usually has access to more ranged attacks, control attacks, healing.
Support, you might say in a word.
Yeah. And so even though I'm playing the Dune Dancer, I have two really distinct ways to play the Dune Dancer. And as I level up as I pick new skill cards and open up Prime Class, that'll become even more distinct, the two play styles.
And you'll find that every class kind of has that thing where they have 2 or 3 paradigms that you're allowed to sort of tunnel into. However, I say that the reason I brought the sling knife on the Sophist, a playtester actually has they have managed to figure out a way to use some of our items to turn the Sophist, the Zusik here, who is a character that isn't really necessarily meant to be especially effective at range very often. They are more or less meant to be a melee character that has the high mobility, right? You see me jump in and out, you see me let other people jump in and out. But they've, throughout their playtests, have figured out synergies that allow the Sophist to play as a very high damage ranged character, and that was always really surprising and impressive to me. So it's something that I've sort of reincorporated into the way that I look at Sophist's kit. So that kind of thing is also really cool, where there's just a lot of different options that even not boilerplate, just not on the on the tin, that you can explore within these class designs.
But depending on the items you take, you can really change up your play style.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even the items that other people take as well, right? There's something to be said for the True Scaler here uses the Terranate Mallow to gain the ether that you, as the Dune Dancer, really like. So there's stuff like that as well.
So yeah, that was a good point, Wes. Thanks for slowing me down and getting me to explain that.
Yeah, no worries. I think it's one of the interesting things, because we always talk about choice and consequence with Rove, and how the choices that you make in a game matter, and that could be anything from choosing, do you deal with issue A or issue B, but it's also in the cards that you choose as you level up. Which skills and which type of player do you want to be? What things make you feel good? And the way you've designed everything is that you've put those little choices in so many different pieces. There's so many different choice and consequence options out there that I like to highlight them when I find them. So that's the reason I mention it.
Yeah,
and
good point.
What background people don't know is that Ty and we butt heads a lot about design.
Okay.
So he will say things and I'll disagree with them, and then usually he wins, but occasionally I come up with a good idea, and usually the reason that he wins is because his idea is solid, and as much as I want to bag on him about some things, because that's what boys do, he's a fantastic designer, a good guy, and has really put a lot of heart and soul into this project, so he deserves a lot of kudos and praise for really putting something unique and fun together for people to play. So
well, I appreciate that, Wes, because I don't get to hear it enough from you specifically. But no, joking aside, God, we've been at this for a year, right?
Yeah.
And specifically with this team. And I just want to make sure it's clear that I do appreciate those moments. Because, for example, when we butted heads, so to speak, the ether fields, right? Forever, as this is an RPG, we need status effects. We need a way to manipulate what a character can do. And, I've played all sorts of games, and of course, including, RPGs like D&D, board game RPGs like Gloomhaven, and, they all have status effects. And we just always struggled, well, how do we want to track that? Are we going to do the O-ring that has become popular in D&D? Are we going to do a little token that, I don't know, maybe you clip it onto your standee? And we could never really find a good solution. And you're always hounding me on that, we can make it better, we can make it better. And then one day there was just this epiphany, the elemental field. It's easy. It highlights a big theme of the game, being the ether and the different elements within that ether. But also, it allows us to put a token on the map. So it changes the map. It makes good spaces, bad spaces on the map. But when the standee moves, you don't have to move anything with the standee. You don't have to pick up your O-wings. You don't have to check something off to the side of the board. Oh, do I have a SAS effect or not? You just look at the map where you're playing. And so that's an example, I think, of where, working as a team, where we were throwing ideas out there and we landed on something pretty special.
Yeah.
The core ethos of Rove is cooperation. That has been every part, every element, every design, literally 100% of it, all of it. Rove is about cooperation, and so that comes with a team. Like, you cooperate and things are much better off as a result.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to say the next thing I know Wes wants to say, which is I can go on forever, especially when we start talking about the design of the game. But I think we're going to be publishing some Kickstarter updates here soon, kind of explaining some of the design and the mechanics that went into the game. So I had fun. I think we can move on to the next activity, right?
We do have a couple of questions from the audience. So I've been checking the general discussion, and Hero has a couple of questions. And
that's why you're on the team.
Yeah, since Hero was the one who told us how to make the bases of these things go less, I think it's probably important we mention those. One of the questions is, Hero is definitely interested in the Dune Dancer because the love for pets and summons. Do you think that focusing on your spells kind of took away from your want or need to use the summons for Dune Dancer in this run?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I really wanted to get the chicken out because I like
it's the dearest friend.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted the chicken, but I was never able to get into a position that I wanted to get into. And this encounter specifically does kind of ask you to keep moving. And so it ended up that I felt like favoring my ranged attacks turned out to be the right idea. The map is this map is a little cluttered with obstacles. We're slowed down by blue terrain. And so I thought it gave me more freedom to how I chose to move. I was even able to do some silly things like move back, but still attack the enemy that's further into the map. I just never had a chance to bring out the chicken. I did have a chance in one of the final rounds, but I mean, we were right at the crystal. The chicken was only going to do a couple of damage, and I still had some big spell mage raves to perform. And so I would say kind of my intended play style for this encounter, and honestly, just some of the encounter pressure, I just never had a chance to bring out the chicken.
And so that's, I think, important to highlight, is that even though that a significant portion of Rove is combat, right? That just comes with the territory of being a dungeon crawler. The encounters will ask you to do different things within your map, and there will be instances where you need to focus on the different things you have available to you. So especially as your class gains strength, it's not like you literally tear these cards up, get rid of them, right? There will be instances where potentially the card that you didn't bring for one encounter still becomes useful for a different encounter. So, and that is why, as part of your setup, you are given that full view of everything in the encounter to help you make those decisions, right? I see enemies with armor. Oh, this looks like a map where we have a weird, twisty turnies, so we're going to use extra movement. So things of that nature are also important to keep in mind when it comes to the difference between sort of overall playstyle versus tools that were useful in this particular instance.
Well, and I see Hero asked a follow-up question. If True Scale wasn't there, would you have used the chicken as a front line? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I would have done warrior build if it was just, say, me and the Sophist. And I say warrior build just because their cards usually are the ones with access to the summons. The chicken can help spread the damage. It gives me an ally to actively command. Like when I did Dual Assault, if the chicken is out on the board, I can then command it to attack. So, yeah, if the True Scale wasn't there, I don't think I would have done a Spell Mage this time. I couldn't hold myself back, and I would have done a Warrior Chicken build.
And that's a very common, synergy between Dune Dancer and Sophist, is where True Scale can just walk up and just take hits on the face. Sophist doesn't necessarily like taking hits on the face, so they're very good at just stopping hits from happening. And as you can see, the chicken is a little small. It's a little small guy, little baby dude. So the Sophist's ability to just kind of reposition things and make sure that damage doesn't happen, period, is something that really helps with that kind of usage of the summon.
Well, and
Oh,
I noticed that Scuzz said something. I just want to respond, which, it's just a normal comment. Can't wait to see what you guys have done with the Shadow Piercer. And Scuzz, I think you'll like it. Especially the evolution classes to the Shadow Piercer. They are a very aggressive class, and I really enjoy playing them.
and one thing, going back to the Arterock, I have a regular group that plays every week, and we've done some pretty deep content. And True Scale and Dune Dancer are both in that group, and we actually call the evolved. Well, I don't even, am I allowed to say that something happens
Yeah, that's
to
fine. I
KFC?
think, yeah, it's for the stream. Yeah.
Okay, so as your character evolves, your pets evolve as well. So KFC, which is this smaller version of the chicken, becomes Drumstick, and Drumstick is a very nice version. Can do a lot of really great things, and is integral into keeping True Scale alive as things get a little bit more hairy, because as you saw, I don't generally hang back, so I enjoy running in and just hoping the best for every situation. And the having a Thunder Chicken available, a Drumstick like that available, does make a lot of good things happen for True Scale, who occasionally dies or it gets knocked out. So
Any other news we want to... Comments going wild. Any of the news we want to fit in here for Kickstarter people before we sign out?
Yeah, I will say that we have a lot of really cool things that we're working on for the Kickstarter. There's a lot of great questions in the comments section that everybody's asked. So we're super excited about that so many people are interested in the game, and that so many people back the game, and that you guys have come up with some really great ideas and things that we wanted to figure out. And through your comments, through your interactions, you've helped us understand where we need to focus some of our time and efforts. A lot of comments about shipping, and a lot of comments about what are these specific add-ons, how does this particular thing work. So you're helping us come up with great ideas to talk about for our daily updates. So please keep an eye out for those daily updates. We're going to be posting a ton of information through them, along with some really great things that we're working on behind the scenes. So if you're especially related to shipping, I know that that's been a big issue for a lot of people. I can't go into detail about what it is, but I can promise you that there will be an update very shortly, and hopefully it will make everybody very happy. Please keep us in mind. Take a look at those updates. Thank you again, honestly, for the overwhelming support. We really couldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. We've spent a lot of time on this. We poured our blood, sweat, tears, anger, frustrations, and hopes and dreams into this project, and we couldn't be more thankful for you guys making it real for us, and for the opportunity to put something like this together. It's just a dream come true for all of us. So thank you very much for everything.
This has been our developer, Ty Vendegrossi, our writer, Charles McLeod, and our Flamingo, Wes Todd, bringing you Rove.